Hi, my name's Andrew. Today we're going to Reka halibut. This particular fish I personally caught up in Kodiak Island, Alaska, not that long ago. But before we get started, I want to talk to you. We're going to smoke this halibut on top of cedar planks. So this is going to a whole nother level. There's smoked wood on smoked wood. But here is where most people get caught out for big bucks. Do you pay this much or this much? Do you pay this much for cedar planks? Here's a pro tip. If you go down to your local hardware store and you ask them for a cedar fence plank, it's going to be a fraction of the price. And what you do is you ask them to cut it into small pieces that fit your smoker or your oven, and you will have yourself huge savings. So there's the pro tip for today. Right, let's get cooking. This is what you're going to need for today. Okay, so I have my halibut here that was freshly filleted, and I had it snap frozen after it was packaged. Half an onion, half a white or yellow onion works. I have here 5 or 6 garlic cloves that are freshly peeled, large flake salt, Himalayan pink sea salt, a fresh lemon, 2 fresh limes. We want to be able to do some grating. We want to pull rind out, want some sharp knives. Obviously here I have 4 small cedar planks that I have soaked for 3-4 hours. You just soak them in water, let them sit there, and then you stand them up like in a dish rack and let the most of the water drain. But they're going to retain most of the water that they've absorbed through their end grains. So that's going to come in real handy in just a little bit. Also, I have apple wood today. We're going to be smoking with apple wood. Another great wood that I like to smoke with fish is any kind of citrus wood is great. I personally have some right now, but I decided to go with apple wood because I love what it does to the fish flavor. So also for our condiment, or our side dish rather, we're going to do chicken rice, and it's very, very simple. I'm just going to use a standard rice cooker. We have here 2 cups of rice and 4 cups of chicken stock. And I'm going to cook the rice in the chicken stock as opposed to the conventional cooking rice in water. I find that it just gives it some additional flavor. It pulls out some more layers. It just gives you a little bit more excitement and enthusiasm to dig into your meal when it's all done. Of course, at the end, we're going to lay the halibut over the top of the hot, fresh chicken rice, and it's going to be a sumptuous treat. Okay, so let's get the rice underway so we can set it and forget it and move on to our main dish. This is a really great dish. You'll be amazed. This dish literally takes just a few minutes to put together, and it's a restaurant quality dish at the end. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this half a yellow onion, and I'm gonna slice it up into small pieces. This is actually a little secret weapon that I like to use in my chicken rice. Not a lot of people do it this way, but I like to cook my onion in the rice. So I'm gonna cut it into very small pieces, and I'm going to dice it up. And I'm gonna add it into the rice. So then the aromatics and the flavors of the onion just all come together with that rice and chicken flavor. So let's just do this real quick right now. Couple of little pieces in here. Let's get those down to size. It doesn't matter too much if they're not perfectly the same size. Right, so let's take our dry rice ingredient. We're going to throw that into the bowl. We're then going to add 2 handfuls of our onion. And then lastly, we are going to add our chicken stock, which is going to marry all of those flavors together and cook some beautiful, perfect rice. I'll tell you what, just to be awesome, we're going to throw some salt in there. This probably violates a whole lot of cultural rice cooking laws, but hey, we're here to have fun. We're not here to be traditional. Okay, so we're all squared away with our chicken rice with some onion and salt. We're going to now just leave that sitting there cooking while we carry on with the rest of the dish. So the first thing that we're going to do, this is my own personal recipe and style. We are going to build on each of these 4 cedar planks. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to chop the garlic, but I don't want to chop it too fine. So I'm not using the crusher. I'm just a very, very loose garlic chopped cube size. So I want it to be a very coarse kind of grain, if you would use that language. Like I said, this dish comes together very fast. My wife's family was visiting. Her family, she comes from a large family, and they were visiting from New Zealand and South Africa and different parts of the US. They came in for a huge family reunion, and I did this for them one of the particular days that they were with us, and it was just a huge hit. So what I want to do is I want to show you my little secret. We're going to just work on plating up here, because really all we do is we build the dish on these cedar planks, and everything comes together in the smoker. So I take a little bit, I'm going to have 2 pieces of fish on each one of these planks. So I want, now remember, for those of you that haven't done much smoking, you can do this in your oven too. The apple wood that I've had soaking overnight is now currently warming up in my smoker. It's going to start to emit beautiful apple aromatic smoky flavors through the smoker, and it's going to infuse the whole box where the fish is. But now on top of that, we're adding another layer where this cedar has actually been soaking water, and as the cedar begins to heat up, it's going to emit 2 things, both steam up through the wood, but also a kind of cedar overtone flavor. And so as it does that, all of the food on top of that, namely the first layer being garlic, is going to be activated, and it's going to start to emit its own flavors. And I think you're going to start to see here that this is about to become an exciting event. Okay, so we have each of these planks now has a little bit of garlic. So as the board heats up, the garlic's going to start to get activated. All those garlicky fumes and flavors are now going to start to permeate out on the fish pieces sitting on top. So let's cut up our fish. Let's take a look. Look at this beautiful halibut fillet. Look at that beautiful white meat with all of those grains running through. So see, we're just sitting that piece of fillet right on top of the garlic. So the garlic is creating airflow underneath the fish, so it's not sitting on top of the cedar sweating. It's creating an airflow underneath, and all those smoky flavors are infusing underneath and activating the garlic underneath as well. So let's keep going here. Look at that. That is just absolutely gorgeous. See this here? It's just sitting up on top of those pieces. Okay. Just beautiful, beautiful. Like I said, this is a very, very fast meal to bring together. There's some more there. Let's tuck all of those pieces of garlic underneath. And the last piece of garlic. Okay, so we have 8 pieces of halibut just sitting perfectly. Let me just clear this bench up quickly. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take some lime. I love lime, not just for the flavor, but also the color that it's going to bring to the dish. Look at that. So this lime rind is going to release some really beautiful flavor as the fish starts to cook. Like I said before, all of that smoke and that flavor is going to start to be released into the fish. Okay, let's put a little bit more on. Okay, so you can see this beautiful green lime rind garnish just sitting on top here. We're also going to take some very, very thin slices of lemon. So we're going to get lemon, garlic, and lime rind now just releasing into this fish. Okay, Final garnish, very simple. We're just gonna add a little bit of salt. These thicker pieces are gonna take a little bit longer to cook. Just gonna put just enough lime juice on top of the halibut now. I don't wanna wash all of the salt and the rind off, but I want just enough to moisten it down on the top and create some flavor. Finally, I'm gonna finish with my favorite seasoning. This is one of my favorite seasonings right now. It is a creative Cajun cooking. They are not paying me to do this. I've just been using these guys for a little bit. It's the Fire Department Blend, and Magic Swamp Dust is its product name. So I'm just gonna put a very, very small amount. It doesn't need to have very much. I just wanna, you're gonna just see a little bit of red coming out. Not much. So in just a second, I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna let all of this seasoning settle. And we're gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in the smoker. You can already see the lime juice is already reacting over the top of the fish, starting to cook it naturally. We're gonna put this in the smoker. We're gonna leave it there for 30 to 40 minutes. We may probably head towards the 40-minute side. I have some very thick cuts of halibut. Check it out. Okay, are you hungry yet? Because I'm getting hungry. This smells so good. I wish you could jump through the lens and smell the flavors and the aromas that are coming out of this fish, that are coming off all the garnishings that have been smoked and steamed and infused. The rice is just finished. That also has that amazing chicken rice, chicken stock, onion flavor. It's super good. It's better than your average. Okay, so here we have our 8 pieces. I'm gonna plate up now. We're gonna get down with completing this by taking a taste of everything we've just put together. So let's look. We're going to just start to put a little bit of rice. As you can see, this rice cooker is well balanced with a low center of gravity. Okay. Come back to that in a second. Let's just parallel build these. Okay, so see how the fish has just taken on all the woody, smoky, caramelized browning from all of that smoke. There's obviously, like, you know, in brisket you have the smoke ring. We've got that technically with the fish as well. The hard part now is choosing which piece of fish do we want to eat. I think we're going to take this piece right here. Now as we lift that, look at everything underneath. See all of the lemon and the garlic is just, see all that? It's all just infused into the fish. So we're going to sit that right on top of the fish. The second piece that we're going to take for this is this little piece right here. Now, finishing touches of everything, let's not miss those. We're going to put these right here. I'm going to take my little knife. I have some fresh dill. Fresh dill is fish's best friend. Always remember that. Fish, dill. So we're just gonna put a little bit of a slice. We're gonna open up the flavors by chopping through some of the stems and the little leaves here. And I like a little extra dill than most. We're just gonna let that spread. I've got a thing for limes, man. A good lime, you just simply can't beat it. We're just gonna let that be the finishing dredge, followed up by a garnishing of heavy salt, and we're done. So, in order to prove that we've done a good job, are you ready to take a bite with me? Let's just come in here, look at that. It's just beautiful. It's like a steaky piece of chicken. It's got that smoky flavor. You can smell the garlic. The dill starts to hit it on the head. You've got the lime and the lemon coming through, and of course, halibut just holds itself so well. Now let's try the rice. It's so good. Do yourself a favor, get hold of some fresh halibut, make some chicken rice, and make this happen. Now, little pro tip. If you don't have a smoker at home, you can do this in your oven. We're gonna do another video showing you how you can do this in your oven. If you'd like to see that, hit a thumbs up and fire us a comment. Hey, we'd like to see how to do this in our oven at home. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications. Excuse me, it was so good. We'll see you next time. Have a great week. Get Reka at home.